project that we're going to be doing today requires the following materials. The laminator, which I have right up here, some sort of trimmer, paper trimmer, and some way to score your paper, scissors, scoring tool, score tape, which is really just double-sided adhesive tape, some ribbon, 2 pieces of just regular copy paper, a laminating pocket, 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper. First thing that we need to do is trim down our paper. So the laminating pocket is 8 5/8. I'm going to do 8 1/2. And then in the other direction, I'm going to do 11. I'm going to just cut this down to 8 1/2 by 11. So if you have bigger copy paper, you can make a bigger size. All right, let me turn this around. On the short side, I'm going to score it at 1 inch. On this short side, I'm going to do 1 inch. Okay, so I have 1 inch on this side, 1 inch on this side. So then along this long side here, we're going to have 5 1/4. And then we'll have 6 1/4. Okay, so to recap, along the short edge, we're going to do 1 inch here and 1 inch here. And along the long edge, we're going to do 5 1/4 and 6 1/4. Okay, so that will be good. And I'm going to move this out of the way. Okay, so now we have our paper trimmed and scored. So the next thing, I'm going to bring in my laminator pocket. And I'm going to open it up. And then this is going to go face down in my laminating pocket. Then I'm going to put both sheets of copy paper in the laminating pocket, and I want them to cover side to side. They're already lengthwise are fine. I just want to make sure side to side that they are covered. And then I actually, in order not to waste this side of my laminating pocket off camera, I'm going to trim up a piece of scrapbook paper and just stick it in here so that I can laminate one side of the paper and go ahead and not waste this side. All right, now that I have a piece of paper that is trimmed to size, I'm going to put this face up on this side. So here is my sandwich. I have the laminating pocket, a piece of scrapbook paper, 2 sheets of copy paper. Then I have the sheet from a little bit ago. I'm going to go ahead and bring in the laminator, and I'm going to turn this on, and then we're going to get this laminated. Okay, so my laminator is ready. The 3mm light has turned solid green, and I'm going to go ahead and just run this through the laminator, and I'm actually going to run it twice. Before I run that through twice, I'm going to let that cool for just a second on my glass mat, and then I'm going to run it. I'm going to turn it over and run it the other way. So this is ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the laminator and just set that aside. Okay, so this has been run through the laminator, and I'm going to trim off the ends so that this can be opened up. And then what you'll find is that we have laminated, actually I'm going to do this side first. We have laminated paper only on one side, and the other side is still regular feeling paper. And this is good because we could make our own ephemera. We could do a lot of things just having a laminated thing on one side. This side is actually open. I need to do this side. And I'm just trimming off this excess laminating around the edges. That way I can open all of this up and separate these papers. Okay, I need a little bit more on this side. There we go. Okay, so when we open it up, what you're gonna find is that the 2 sheets of copy paper, they just come out. So now we have laminated paper. So that's laminated on one side and it is paper on the other side. Okay, so all of our papers are separated and trimmed down. And then I can see where we have our score lines. And then here is our 1 inch line. So I'm actually going to to fold all of these score lines, and I'm going to give them a good press with the Teflon bone folder. Okay, so these are the 1-inch score marks, and then we have one there at 5 1/4 and 6 1/4. Okay, now we need our scissors. So I am going to come in, and where these two score marks are, I am actually going to go diagonal to that little corner and then up. Pull that off. Diagonal to that corner. Trim that up. Okay, so we now have a little flap that goes in, and then we have these two flaps. And I think I might actually angle those just a little bit. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I angle ever so slightly over there and then here. So we're actually going to make a little triangle. I cannot take credit for this design. I saw this on Positively Papercraft with Anne, and she is awesome. And I love her accent. It is amazing. When I fold this up, this is the bottom. This is that 1-inch. So 5 1/4, 6 1/4. This will be the bottom of our bag. And then when I fold it up, you can see how it is aligned perfectly. These inside flaps are going to make the sides of our bag, and I'm going to be using the score tape for that. What I remember from her video is that we are going to get one flap in, and we're going to put this on the top of that. Now you can use glue because this is paper and that's laminate. You don't want to do laminate to laminate. But since this is paper and that's laminate, you could use liquid glue. I think I'm going to go ahead and use score tape for the big long edges. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to put a couple of pieces of score tape here along these edges. And this is the one that will go on the inside. I'm going to go ahead and do this here on the other side as well. So we have that ready to go. And then I'm just going to pull off these carrier sheets. I'm actually going to do one side at a time. So I'm going to fold this in, and I'm going to bring it flush with, sorry, I guess you can't see. So I'm going to fold this down, and then I'm going to bring it in so that it is even. And then I'm going to just put that little flap right up there like that. So I'm going to do this other side first. So this is a fun way to use up a bunch of paper scraps that you have, or, you know, patterned paper that you're not real sure you want to scrapbook with or make cards with. You can make little boxes and bags with it. Okay, so now I have both of these sides, and above this little bitty flap, which is going to be hidden now, it's going to be sandwiched in between here and here. I have the little tape there, and I think I'm going to put some on this side as well, or I guess I could put liquid glue on that side. But what I noticed is that there is some extra laminate along this edge, and I'm just going to trim this off. Nice and easy. Just in case you're wondering, the way that this was laminated and the fact that I laminated it twice, the laminate is not coming away from the paper. Like this is solid, you know, this is not going to come apart. And I've done a few things so far and I haven't had anything separate. So I know some people worry about the fact that it's not sealed. Well, it's all adhered to the one side of the paper. I think in order to give me a little bit of wiggle room so that I can make sure that I get this lined up correctly on this outside. I'm going to go ahead and use some liquid glue, and I'm just going to fold this in flush and then get it put down carefully, and I'm going to give it a good press. You can even come in here and press this down like that with your tool, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Okay. Okay, I'm going to give that a good press. All right. And then, so something I noticed, and it could be user error, is I've got to trim a little bitty bit over here. I guess when I was folding, I got it off a little bit. I'm just going to trim that up. Okay, so here is our little bag or box. You could also use these like expandable file folders. So I could even store craft things in here. That would be really fun, is just to use this in your craft room if you just need like a little storage pocket. The last piece is just to put the little ribbon on. So I'm going to grab some ribbon and I'm going to fold it in half. I think that's more than plenty. Cut this ribbon. This is just chiffon ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby. All right, and then come in here and I'm going to see if I can get it as close to the middle as possible. Okay, and then I like to turn it over like this and do the same thing with my thumb that I did on the other side. That way it's kind of in the same ballpark, because I'm just sticking both of these through here at one time. Okay, and now they look pretty even. Then we're gonna just come in here and I'll just thread all the way through both sides and come right back both sides. And then I can put all my little goodies in there. This, like if I'm using this like a little gift bag, and I could do this, tie it together, and then I can put a little bow. Not that I am the best bow tire, but here we go. So now we have a cute little bag. This is the prototype one that I made the other day. You can tell that I made it a little bit taller. So again, you can make these, you know, whatever size you want based on the paper that you have and the size that your laminator will accept. But I think these are so fun. So cute little gifts. You could even just use the pockets themselves as little organizational tools in your classroom, your craft room, around your home. This would be great to put a bunch of stationery in or a bunch of cards and give that as a gift. So that would be awesome too. All right, well, I hope that you enjoyed this laminator craft video. I'm going to have everything listed down in the description of all the materials, the supplies. If you enjoyed this video and the fact that if you enjoyed this tutorial on how to make some little gift bags / gift pockets with your laminator and some scrapbook paper, go ahead and give this video a like, share it with your crafty friends, and if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. Till I see you in the next card or craft, as always, have an amazing day and happy crafting.
Thank you all so much for watching today. I'm so glad that you can join me at my craft table. If you're not already, I'd love to have you as a subscriber, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you'll know when new videos arrive. Have a great day, and as always, happy crafting.